family. He is the one can take all the flack, and she stands back. So he has become now her puppet in a way which was not clear, I think, until Saturday.
Meghan Markle targeted Prince Harry. She wanted to be a star. She rejected a couple of other British guys who weren't powerful enough. Then she was rejected by a bunch of them. How embarrassing for Prince Harry to have been the one who fell for it. What a dope. We had Tom Bauer on their show on Friday being like,
he is so stressed out. You can see it in his face. Despair. He's confused. He doesn't know what to say. He thinks he's going to get in trouble if he doesn't say exactly what Meghan says.
Maybe left it for Harry. Maybe Harry's no use to Meghan anymore. Maybe the divorce rumors are actually true. Maybe there's no money in the settlement for the divorce. Wow.
From one scandal to the next, one messy headline after another, Meghan Markle somehow keeps finding herself right in the middle of chaos. Every time people think the drama has finally cooled off, another story pops up and sends everything spinning again.
Now, the other thing I took from that was this guy, Harry. I thought he seemed in despair. I thought he seemed lost. I thought he seemed lonely, very sad, and also I thought he seemed psychiatrically dubious. I thought he needs psychiatric help. The level of his paranoia was astonishing. Paranoid about everything.
It's like watching somebody burn every bridge around them, cut people off one by one, then act shocked when nobody's left standing beside them. And online, people have definitely started noticing the pattern. First, it was the fallout with her own family, especially the situation with her father that turned into a public mess everyone talked about for years. Then came the royal exit that shook the entire palace and had headlines exploding across every major outlet.
About this, but I think that she was trying to deceive. I think she was telling lies.
After that, the interviews, the accusations, the non-stop media battles, and now people are even questioning what's really happening between Meghan and Harry behind closed doors. The rumors just keep getting louder, and every new appearance seems to spark another round of speculation. But now things just got even more personal because her own brother, Thomas Markle Jr., is stepping right into the spotlight and calling her out publicly without holding back. He's making it very clear that he believes Meghan never married Harry because of some fairy tale romance. According to him, she saw the opportunity, saw the status, saw the worldwide attention, and went straight for the brand that came with the royal name. She traded royal tradition for non-stop chaos, and somehow turned Prince Harry from a respected royal into what critics online keep calling her full-time, emotional support sidekick. At first, people thought the couple was building some bold new future together away from palace pressure.
While his life hangs in a balance, and he's reaching out to her, then there is no point. And then shame on her, in my opinion, and she's got to live with that. And if she can do that, well, then she can take that to her grave. That's a choice she has to make.
But over time, more and more viewers started noticing how everything seemed to revolve around Meghan's image, Meghan's interviews, Meghan's projects, and Meghan's spotlight. Meanwhile, Harry started fading into the background more with every appearance, looking less like the confident prince people remembered, and more like somebody completely disconnected from the life he once knew. Back in the UK, Harry had family, royal duties, longtime friends, military respect, and a public identity that had been built over decades. Now people online constantly debate whether he gave all of that up just to become part of a celebrity-style media machine in California.
Attention gets, they're never going to be happy. She can nail every Spotify deal, WME representation she wants. It's never going to fulfill the hole that's inside of her because there's something wrong with this woman. She dumped her family. Her dad is dying. She won't speak to him. She's ruined another family. It happens to be the royal one. And now they're going to have to sit with the consequences of their own behavior, which is misery.
The royal title may still follow his name, but critics argue the version of Harry people see today feels completely different from the prince who once laughed easily in public and looked comfortable in his own skin. To them, it's like the old Harry slowly disappeared piece by piece. And according to critics, Meghan always stays at the center of the story no matter what happens. Every controversy, every interview, every public clash somehow circles back to her narrative, while Harry ends up looking isolated and drained in the background. That's why some people have started calling it Meghan's show, where she controls the messaging, the image, and the direction while Harry plays the quiet supporting role beside her. What makes the whole situation even heavier is the fact that many people believe Harry was already emotionally vulnerable long before Meghan entered the picture.
Protection when he comes to Britain. My interpretation of that, and I'm not alone, was he gave that interview, he blamed everyone, it's conspiracy theories, it's my dad, it's the government, nothing is my fault. He was like a spoilt brat throwing his toys out of the pram because he didn't get what he wanted.
Losing Princess Diana at such a young age left a massive scar that the world watched unfold publicly for years. Some critics argue that unresolved pain may have made him more emotionally dependent in relationships later in life, especially when facing pressure from the media and the royal family. After Princess Diana's death, Harry spent years looking emotionally lost, and even longtime royal watchers could see the pain never fully disappeared.
Thinking to myself, this poor man. And it just continues and continues and continues. And he's going deeper and deeper and deeper. And I do believe, Meghan is driving this whole caravan for him.
He often spoke publicly about struggling with grief, pressure, and feeling trapped inside royal life, while the whole world watched his every move. Critics now argue that during one of the most vulnerable periods of his life, Meghan stepped in and quickly became the center of his emotional world. To them, the relationship moved fast, intense, and emotionally heavy from the beginning, which only added more questions over time. Some of Meghan's harshest critics even claim she understood exactly how emotionally fragile Harry already was and used that connection to strengthen her own position inside the royal spotlight. Samantha Markle has publicly made comments questioning Harry's judgment for years, and those statements continue getting attention online every time new controversy surfaces.
Meghan is playing this whole her life, scripted, produced, acted by her, all on her dime or whatever. She's playing this fantasy life out in her own mind, where it comes to where, let me get to this in 1 second, but it comes to where she wants to be Diana so bad. It's kind of freaky and kind of scary.
The comparison to Princess Diana has also become a huge talking point, especially whenever Meghan discusses media pressure or public treatment. But critics argue that repeatedly invoking Diana's legacy only creates more tension and keeps Harry emotionally tied to painful memories from his past. And according to online discussions, that's where things start feeling darker for many viewers watching this unfold. People aren't just debating royal drama anymore. They're questioning the emotional toll this entire situation has taken on Harry himself. From leaving royal duties to family fallout, public criticism, non-stop interviews, and constant media battles, many feel like Harry's entire identity has been shaken over the last few years. For Meghan's critics, the blame lands directly on her shoulders.
I think, there seems to be an obsession. Let's not forget the Lifetime drama, Escaping the Palace, wherein at the end of the drama, she is depicted dying similarly to how Diana did. Now, if that's not a little bit eerie and that's not a little bit obsessed, please tell me what is, because I think all along...
Because they believe she encouraged the division, the public conflicts, and the endless media cycles surrounding their lives. Others argue the situation is far more complicated and that both Harry and Meghan made choices that pushed everything further into chaos. Either way, the public fascination with their relationship only keeps growing louder with every new headline. As the public drama around Harry and Meghan kept growing, many critics started saying the relationship looked more and more unbalanced with every interview and public appearance. In their eyes, Meghan always appeared to be the stronger voice in the room, the one leading the conversations, shaping the image, and steering the narrative while Harry followed along beside her. Online discussions exploded, with people claiming the prince, who once seemed relaxed and confident, had slowly turned into a background figure in his own story.
He wrote a book. He totally attacked the monarchy, totally attacked William and Catherine. Meghan is so jealous of Catherine. It's very, very scary. It's actually very creepy. And I don't know where this whole thing is going, but it's not going very well for either of them.
To critics, it started looking less like a royal partnership and more like Meghan controlling the spotlight while Harry stood quietly in the shadows. What makes the situation even more dramatic is the fact that members of Meghan's own family were publicly criticizing her long before she ever entered royal life. Thomas Markle Jr., has spent years making headlines with blunt interviews, shocking comments, and non-stop criticism aimed directly at Meghan and the royal drama surrounding her. Every time another controversy surfaces, people online rush back to those old warnings and start saying maybe the family saw problems coming long before the public did. At the same time, social media has completely exploded with wild theories, rumors, and non-stop speculation about nearly every part of Harry and Meghan's private life. Some online users have pushed unverified claims and bizarre gossip about their children and family situation, while others criticize how quickly conspiracy theories spread without evidence. The internet has basically turned every royal appearance into another round of detective work and viral arguments. Thomas Markle Jr. especially keeps fueling that attention because his interviews are often dramatic, emotional, and packed with comments that instantly go viral online.
And then they get on there and they complain, saying their lives are threatened, they want them dead. Poor me, I lost this. How am I going to pay for my own legal bills? Everything is like, they create all these problems like narcissists do.
Whether people agree with him or not, he knows exactly how to get public attention and stir up debate around Meghan's image. Every statement adds another layer to the ongoing royal media storm, and at this point the Markle family feud has almost become its own celebrity spectacle separate from the monarchy itself. But honestly, the way Thomas Markle Jr. talks about the whole situation, it sounds like somebody who's been sitting back for years, quietly collecting receipts, waiting for the perfect moment to unload every uncomfortable story tied to Meghan's past.
It's just a matter of time. We all know that. I predict, I think we're probably under 7 years for the length of this marriage. That's just my, back of the envelope calculation. Because look, she's miserable. She's been miserable her whole life. I know somebody who knows her very well. And this person says she was miserable before she married him. She's miserable during the marriage, and she's going to be miserable after the marriage. She's ruined everything. She ruined the royal family. She ruined his life over there. He allowed it to happen because he had all this damage from his mother's death.
Every interview he gives feels packed with another accusation, another family detail, or another warning about what he believes has really been happening behind the scenes. And according to critics online, the deeper people look into the Harry and Meghan drama, the messier the entire story starts to feel. Thomas especially didn't hold back when talking about Harry's transformation over the years. He argued that almost everything Harry says publicly now sounds carefully shaped and heavily influenced by Meghan's perspective. Critics online constantly point to the interviews, public speeches, documentaries, and even Harry's memoir as examples where they believe Meghan's influence is impossible to ignore. To them, Harry no longer sounds like the independent royal people grew up watching.
Like, family is family. Everybody has a right to meet and be involved with their entire family, unless there's some serious screws loose or somebody has some serious something wrong upstairs, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Instead, they see someone repeating frustrations, narratives, and grievances that seem tied closely to Meghan's public battles with the monarchy and the media. That's why one question keeps getting repeated across social media and tabloids alike. How does somebody born into one of the most powerful royal families in the world end up looking so disconnected from his own identity? People continue debating whether Harry willingly walked away from royal life on his own terms, or whether emotional pressure inside the relationship slowly pulled him further away from everything he once knew. Either way, critics believe there are still major details hidden beneath the surface that the public hasn't fully seen yet.
Let's make a new Netflix series and story out of Harry's demise. Ooh. First of all, the day that she takes his claws out of Harry's back is the day hell freezes over.
And now, some critics are drawing comparisons between Harry and Meghan's relationship and Meghan's previous marriage to Trevor Engelson. Online discussions frequently revisit old stories and interviews, with people claiming they see a repeated pattern in how relationships around Meghan eventually unfold. Her father, Thomas Markle Sr., has also publicly accused Meghan of being controlling and highly protective over the people closest to her, comments that continue resurfacing whenever new controversies hit the headlines. Critics also argue that Harry's personal trauma, especially surrounding the loss of Princess Diana and his long battle with media pressure, has become deeply connected to the couple's public image and storytelling. Every documentary, interview, Or emotional public statement reignites debate about whether those painful experiences are being processed privately or repeatedly brought back into the spotlight for public sympathy and media attention.
Well, the Queen described Harry as being besotted and weak about women, and she said she didn't think it was love. We think she engineered it all. That she was Meghan.
And with every new headline, people online become even more convinced that the full story behind this royal fallout still hasn't completely unfolded. According to both Thomas Markle Sr. and Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan has created a pattern where relationships around her eventually collapse into conflict, distance, or public fallout. Over the years, they've both spoken openly in interviews, claiming that Meghan cuts people off once they no longer serve a purpose in her life. Critics online have repeated those accusations constantly, especially as more public disputes involving family members, former friends, royal staff, and media appearances continue making headlines. Many of Meghan's critics argue that she operates inside what they describe as a carefully crafted fantasy world where image, status, and public admiration matter more than loyalty or stability. In their view, she wants complete control over the narrative surrounding her life and reacts harshly toward anyone who challenges that image. Those critics believe this constant battle for attention and validation has damaged multiple relationships around her, including Harry's connection with his family, longtime friends, and even parts of his public identity.
Here you go. Everything you need. You know, hooray for this. I mean, my father's contacts in Hollywood got her where she's at. And she didn't turn her, you know, she just went straight forward, didn't stop to thank anybody. It was all about her.
At the center of all this discussion is Harry himself, because many viewers feel the prince who once appeared energetic, playful, and comfortable in public now looks emotionally exhausted by non-stop controversy. Every interview, documentary, public statement, and family dispute seems to add another layer of pressure to an already tense situation. Critics argue the spark people once associated with Harry has slowly faded under years of media storms, public backlash, and personal division. Some online commentators have even started pushing dramatic theories about what could happen if the relationship eventually falls apart completely. Rumours, speculation, and sensational predictions spread quickly across social media whenever new tension appears in headlines. However, claims suggesting extreme outcomes or tragic scenarios remain entirely speculative and unsupported by evidence. What is clear is that public fascination with Harry and Meghan continues growing because every new chapter of their story sparks another wave of debate, criticism, and intense media attention around the world. A lot of people watching this royal fallout feel conflicted when it comes to Harry because, in their eyes, he gave up nearly everything for the relationship. He walked away from royal duties, created distance with parts of his family.
I mean, he worshipped the ground that she walked on, and she took every advantage of him that she could possibly take. And then, quite simply, when she didn't need him anymore, he was done.
Relocated across the world and stepped into years of non-stop public controversy beside Meghan. Critics argue that despite all those sacrifices, Harry still ended up caught in constant drama, media backlash, and endless public scrutiny that seems impossible to escape. Then there's the situation involving Meghan's father, Thomas Markle Sr., which continues fueling debate online even years later. Before the royal wedding, reports revealed that he had supported Meghan during different stages of her early career and helped open doors for opportunities in Hollywood. Critics frequently point to that history when discussing the breakdown of their relationship, arguing that the sudden distance between Meghan and her father raised major questions about loyalty and family ties. To them, if a relationship with her own father could collapse so publicly, they believe Harry may have underestimated how complicated things could eventually become inside his own marriage. And now, another major topic keeps surfacing in royal discussions: the future of Harry and Meghan's royal titles.
You mentioned that because none of us were invited to Trevor's wedding in Jamaica that my father paid for also. Meghan and Harry's wedding in Jamaica.
Online speculation grows every time tensions between the couple and the monarchy make headlines. Some royal commentators believe the titles are one of the last remaining connections tying Harry and Meghan to the institution they left behind. Others argue removing them would only create an even bigger public controversy and deepen the divide even further. Either way, many people feel that if the monarchy ever takes that step, it could mark the moment this entire royal chapter changes forever. At this point, critics online are convinced this story is heading towards some kind of major breaking point, because the tension surrounding Harry and Meghan just keeps getting heavier with every new headline. Some believe the relationship is slowly draining Harry emotionally after years of public pressure, family fallout, non-stop media battles, and constant controversy surrounding nearly every move they make.
Meghan wanted me to stop talking to both my older children, both Samantha and Tom, and I can't do that. They're my children. I love all my children.
Others think the couple will eventually separate completely, leaving behind one of the biggest royal scandals modern audiences have ever watched unfold. No matter which direction things go, many royal watchers believe this story is unlikely to end quietly or peacefully. The public fascination has become way too massive, and every interview, appearance, and rumour only adds more fuel to the global conversation. People continue debating whether Harry will eventually reconnect with the royal family, whether Meghan will continue building her celebrity brand independently, or whether the entire situation will spiral into an even bigger public fallout in the future. And honestly, the internet has already picked sides. Some viewers blame Meghan for everything and believe Harry was pulled away from the life he once knew, while others argue Harry made his own decisions and willingly stepped away from the monarchy. Either way, the drama surrounding this couple has completely taken over headlines for years, and it doesn't look like the conversation is slowing down anytime soon. If you saw this coming from the start, hit that like button and share this video with someone following the royal drama. And drop a comment below, do you think Meghan will eventually leave Harry, or do you think they'll stay together no matter how intense the backlash gets? We want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more royal news, scandals, and non-stop celebrity drama coming your way.